All right, now please join me in giving a warm welcome to another amazing Mizzou entrepreneur, Emily Housey.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay. So I want to start off by asking, has anyone had a dream come true or wished upon a shooting star and had a dream come true? Nobody? You had? What's it like as I had?
Pretty good.
You're good? Okay. I'm going to tell you what, I don't have dreams come true like that, but I do have my art wish comes true. And which sounds kind of ridiculous, but I'm not joking. When I was 16, I wanted to paint the Chicago skyline. I wanted to paint some kind of big city skyline. And so what I did is I took 3 gigantic panels and I sketched out New York first. But I didn't like it because there was not enough elevation and the buildings all looked the same. So on the same panels I erased it and instead I drew out Chicago. And I painted it. And then it was 6 months later that my dad got a promotion and we were to be relocated to either Chicago or New York. And then we moved to Chicago. So I don't dream, I create. My dad recognized this pattern, and which is kind of crazy, and I'm like, oh, whatever, but then once I started putting it together, I realized I had like 5 specific pieces that have actually influenced my future. So then I decided to take control of it instead. So I decided to paint my goals and paint my future. So this is the recent graphic that came true. Now I'm Emily Housey, and I am the CEO and founder of Housey Designs. I am creative, basically. So when I started Housey Designs, we are a multi-faced design agency. We create anything that our customers want, all hand-painted art. And so with that, we target specifically Mizzou students because Generation Z is in college now, and what they desire is deeper personal relationships. We have done so many things within the past 3 years. We have got awarded a $2,000 storefront as well as the $2,000 grant in the storefront. So within the past 3 months at our storefront, we were able to sell 150 paintings, 150 face paintings as well. We pair up with bars downtown, and we do Moms Weekend events. So we can paint and drink with your moms. We do logo designs. We've done them for Margaret Hackett Family Foundation, Monaco Cocktails, Moloff Beverage Company, Evolve Athletics, Stay Golden Tans, and even a shot ski for my favorite DJ is Love Luxury. Probably not taking that one. But after that, when I started, when I came to Mizzou, it was a dream of mine, ever since I toured. And so I want to take you back, and this entire experience, I want to tell you about how I started, what the lessons I learned are, and where I want to take my venture. So, ironically, everything I've built was built out of a feeling of isolation and loneliness. I was the girl in high school who had no friends. I was the one who sat and ate lunch by herself in the art room every single day. And so I remember my senior year, I was invited to Alexa's birthday party, and I was so excited, and I knew that all her friends were getting her $100 Lululemon leggings and all these expensive name brands. And I thought, what can I do to go above and beyond? I'm here trying to make friends. I want to make a good high school experience. So instead, I bought a $5 cardboard letter A. And I painted it, and I put a giraffe on it. She has a weird obsession with giraffes. And when I remember when I gave it to her, her face lit up. Because what I gave to her was something that said, I know who you are. I know what you like. And I thought about you, and I put time into this to make this. And to this day, she is one of my best friends. And to this day, that cardboard letter A with the giraffe on it is sitting in her room. And so every week I would make like 2 to 3 of these cardboard letters, and I would sell them, buy ice cream with the money that I got. And then my dad sat me down one day and he said, I just bought you an LLC license, and you're gonna have to figure out how to pay me back. Also, I wanted to buy a dream car for your papa, my grandfather, but I was never able to do that. So I want to tell you in advance that I want a Corvette. Okay. And so when I came to the zoo, I realized that like, the demand kept going, and there's this completely untapped market for hand-painted art. And so that's when I decided like, I want that storefront, and I'm going to do everything that I can to get it. So I sat down with advisors, and I revised a 23-page application. They asked for 2 recommendation letters, we had 3. We had a 20-minute Shark Tank style pitch in front of the board of the zoo. And every single day, I revised it for 6 months. I worked on this every single day. Like, what can we do better? How can we stand out more? And then on April 11th, I got an email saying, congratulations, you were the #1 pick for the Student Entrepreneurial Program. And that's when I learned to always go the extra mile in every single thing that you do. I want to share with you one of my favorite artists. This is Dick Locher. He created the Dick Tracy cartoons. He was invited to the White House for a private lunch because his cartoons were interfering with Reagan's re-election campaign. He co-created Ronald McDonald and the cover of The Great Expectations, just ridiculously talented. And he was also my neighbor. So I would go over there, and I remember sitting with him in the studio, and he had all these plaques and medals all over the wall. And I remember him saying to me that when he was in college and he was in art school, he was never the best artist. He would say that people were incredible and absolutely way better than he was. But because he didn't compare himself to other people, that's why he was successful. So I want to talk about the next part of my entrepreneurial journey, which is when we got the Student Center, we had to build a team. So I built my team through leadership that inspires, influences, and impacts. So when we were first hiring our team, I was very, very nervous. I was 19, I was scared, like, how am I supposed to hire someone my age? But I sent out applications, I did it, and that's when I realized how confident of a person that I'd become when I received my first hate mail. And that was probably, it was what I thought was going to be very, very hard. But I realized that because I was so confident, and it was because of my company and everything that I've built, that didn't bother me at all whatsoever. So instead, I just sent them a 30% off coupon. I said, oh, you can use this, it's valid for a month. That's what I did. And so when I built Housey Designs, I wanted to make sure that people can make mistakes. And so the whole trial that I have for my storefront is to be able to make mistakes and learn from them. And I want the same for the Housey Designs team. So what I had them do was write their future resumes so they can control the accomplishments that go on it. And then I make it happen. Say, all right, let's implement it into Housey Designs. Like, how can we execute this and make this happen for you? In doing that, I realized that when I hire people, we have 15 people working at Housey Designs right now. And when I hire them, I only hire people who are better than me, because that makes way less of a workload for me. I don't have to micromanage everybody, and it builds a foundation of trust and respect. And then the last thing for building my team was realizing how to actually communicate with them. And that was being able to shine a light on them and show them, tell them when they're doing a good job. And then I realized if you shine a light on them, then it shines back at you twice as bright. This is the hate mail I was talking about. But yeah, so I've received a few of these, and it just makes me so happy, because that insecure girl that was in high school, this has had for me, the confidence that I've gotten from this has made a world of a difference. And so the things that people say about you does not define who you are. My confidence is often perceived as stuck up and full of myself, and I can name 5 people that have come up to me and told me, yeah, I thought you were really stuck up and just like a really mean person, but I realized that you're just really confident. Like, thank you, appreciate that. And so, also, if you act like a professional, people will treat you like one. So what I mean by this is, after the whole sending out applications, receiving hate mail and all of that, we decided to revise our hiring process. So everyone that goes through Housey Designs fills out an application, and then they may or may not get accepted to the interview process. If you get selected to the interview process, then you have to have printed out with you your resume, your portfolio, how you're going to improve Housey Designs, and questions. Printed out and ready. I rent out the nice conference room in the Student Center, and I post on the wall the list of all the people who are applying for the job, as well as maybe like 10 or 15 other names that I have nothing to do with anything, just to create like an intimidation factor. Two people applying. But because of that, I was able to weed out the people who were not going to work hard and who were not going to take this seriously. And because I did this, I have the most amazing team. I have people that text me over break every week. What can I do to help? Like, let's take this idea, let's move it here. All my artists send me all their artwork in the middle of whether they're like started it or ended it. And when they show it to me, they're so excited because I give them the positive feedback. I'm like, this is amazing. If there's something I want tweaked, I give them 5 things that I love about it compared to that one thing that, okay, let's fix up the lettering and anything like that. So when we were deciding to do a bunch of advertising, I hired a photographer and videographer, and I spent $110 on this to take photos and put together a promotional video. And the photos, as you can see, they turned out so cool, it was amazing. I wanted it all over, I wanted all of it to be my body paintings, and I was waiting, I was so excited to get back the promotional video, but it took 2 months later, I still really haven't heard back from him. And so I just said, you know what, can you just send me the raw footage and then I'll put it together, it's no big deal. And so I remembered, I have a friend from high school who was amazing at film editing. So I sent it to him, and he got it done in one night. It was so cool. I was sitting there in my bed and I watched it probably 100 times just in a row, just looking at it. I was so excited to post it the next day. And what I did, I posted it. And within 5 minutes, I got a call from the photographer's attorney yelling at me, oh my gosh, for 10 minutes saying, if you do not take this down, we are suing you for intentional copyright infringement. And I said, I got an interesting job. We opened in 5 minutes. I'm sitting down on the phone, did not know how to end this conversation. Like, okay, I'm so sorry. Trying to act professional, trying to keep it together, and not cry. And so I was so upset. Like, I paid him to do a service that he didn't complete. And I was so angry and overwhelmed. And I was like, this did not make sense to me at all. And so after I decided, I found some legal counsel, I realized that I was wrong, legally and morally. And so it took a lot from you, and so I apologized to him. And I learned that when you apologize when you're wrong, which is fairly simple and more complicated than you think, and create a contract with everyone you work with, whether it's a professional, your sister, your boyfriend, girlfriend, anybody, you always make a contract with anyone you work with to make sure you're on the same page. And so something that intimidated me a little bit more than that situation is, I'm a creative person, which is numbers. I don't like numbers. And I realized as an artist, I don't want anything to do with numbers, math. No, I found the easiest major, least amount of math classes I had to take. But as an entrepreneur, I realized that every single penny has to go through my hands. If you're the CEO, you're also the CFO. So I have to make sure I build business models. I have to go through accounting. I'm teaching myself how to do all these things. I've never taken those classes before. I'm teaching myself through this real-world experience that entrepreneur program provides for me. And so with this, I was beginning to learn a lot more about numbers and kind of how to deal with my products and my customers. And so I remember specifically my freshman year, I made a shot ski for somebody, and they needed it for Father's Day. And I procrastinated on it, and I got it done the day before, but I had to ship it. And it was $120 to ship it in one night. I was only $30 for 2 days. And I decided to spend $120. We only charged $90 for a shot ski. So I was losing so much money, I'm like, oh my gosh. But she has bought a cooler from me for every single formal she has been on. For 3 formals, she has bought a cooler from me because I was there and I delivered it to her. So one customer is worth 1,000, and treat them like it. And your reputation is everything, so uphold it. So I want to bring you back to the creative side. I have a painting in my mind that I want to create, and I want to see if you can visualize it too. So think about just like a late spring day in Chicago. There's the architectural boat tours going through the city. And you see on the left, it's the Mark. And this building is 25 stories tall, 4.2 million gross square feet, and it's the home of like Fortune 500 companies, innovative technology companies. And so if you think about, back to my vision, you can go through the halls and you come across this modern office, and it's black and white and it's clean, and there's this giant glass paneling on the outside. Can you see the logo on the back wall? Can you see the name on the door? With the lessons I've learned, I've been able to recreate and reinvent how I interpreted my Chicago skyline painting. And with that, I'm making my dream become a reality because I'm going to create it and I'm going to do everything I can to get there. So this is a summary of all the lessons that I've had. Well, I've had 46 actually, so these are the big ones. I counted. But so thank you so much, and I want to